All consumers are interested in their driver. They want to hit it farther, farther, farther. But there's an aspect as fitters that you can dial in and help the average golfer, because they tend to have longer shots second shots in the greens. So what about, talk to me about fairways and hybrids and what we can do in the Acra line.
Well, I think there's a couple of things really, Sean, when you talk about fairways and hybrids. I think first of all, the golf ball's changed. Yeah. So over recent years, the golf ball needs to go higher and higher for us to get the distances out of it that we need. And then we look at golf courses. Golf courses in general are getting longer.
Right.
So what that's doing is that's putting pressure on the club golfer to hit more longer shots into greens. And if you kind of look at a guy with 80 mile an hour swing speed, the hole's going to be just over 300 yards for them to go beyond their 7-iron, so into their longer irons. So if you get a hole that's 350, 360, let's face it, that's not a long hole in golf. They've really got a lot of pressure on them with their fairway woods and their hybrids.
Correct.
So I think that, don't get me wrong, the driver's obviously massively important to get the most out of your driver that you can. But perhaps sometimes, golfers look a lot at the wrong part of the bag, and they should be looking at getting some fairways and some hybrids that actually work for them. Even when you look at the stronger players, there's still holes, you're talking 460, that type of distance. They're down to get on in there in 2. That's what they should be doing.
Right.
If they've not got the right clubs and the right shafts in their bag to do it, they're going to struggle. And one of the things I think with Acra is the dye match technology.
Yes.
So dye match, we call it. And the idea behind that was being able to match a fairway wood and a hybrid to a driver shaft. And really for a lot of companies would just use the driver shaft for this. But the nice thing about the Acra line is that with the dye match system, is that what you get is you get a shaft in your fairway wood that just feels and plays the same as your driver.
Right.
It's going to do a great job for you. The reason that we designed slightly different shafts for fairways and hybrids is because the CG location moves.
The heads are different.
Yeah, the heads are different. So if you look at the size of a driver head compared to a 3-wood head, it's obviously going to be smaller. The centre of gravity is going to be closer to the shaft.
Right.
So really that's going to make a huge difference to how the shaft plays. So the shaft needs to change. And in general, a lot of club makers, they don't always pay enough attention to how important that aspect is.
Well, another thing, remember the old way of fitting you took a driver shaft, heavier, 10 grams heavier, you tipped it, all of a sudden, so then, as you said, we had the different heads.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, it's not the same feel.
Absolutely. So what that means is we tee the ball up, we use a lighter shaft. Yeah.
Right.
We put the ball on the ground where it's difficult to launch it, it's harder to launch it. We then put a heavier shaft in it, and we cut the tip section off.
Yeah.
So we're actually making the tip section like dead.
Right.
With a heavier shaft. So no wonder people are struggling when it comes to getting the ball up off the fairway.
Yes.
So for me, I think fitting is as much about set makeup as it is about the actual specification of the golf club.
Yes.
And to get the right lofts and the right shafts in those clubs that you're going to use for your second shots into the greens is absolutely huge. And height is king. If we can get that thing up in the air flying, we're going to do better.
Right.
So from my point of view, fairways and hybrids are a massive part for any club golfer.
Yes. Awesome. Thanks, Lee.
No problem.
Great insight. Perfect.